Who is Anton Diaz?
Who is Anton Diaz?
I'm Janice Villanueva. I'm a friend of Anton Diaz.
Yung famous food and travel vlogger. Pero para sa akin, he is the friend that I grew up with and shared many life memories.
Anton Diaz probably is one of the kindest, if not the kindest person I've ever met.
Anton has been a mentor to me and a really good friend. He's a former business partner when I was still in Manila before I moved to Canada. And he remains to be a trustworthy confidant, a counselor, and a consultant also in my business.
I remember you as the DLSU College of Engineering mate and org mate in SDO. Also a day one colleague in PNG.
Ang hirap galitin kasi napaka-even-tempered eh. Tsaka siguro because he's such an intelligent guy, he can instantly rationalize. And that's been a good influence on me. I fight people, I get into fights because they fight with Anton and Anton just stays cool about it. But I can't, he's my friend.
Good evening. Welcome to Season 2 of BCBP Mission Go Live. If you feel that you are being called by God for something greater, but you're afraid to trust His calling, if you feel afraid because the path towards His calling seems uncertain and full of peril, then I invite you to listen to the story of a digital entrepreneur who surrendered to the Lord's calling and became His crusader to use technology to win the online battle for Christ. Jesus said that whoever drinks the water that He shall give will never thirst. He is the living water, and we bring Him to you through the stories of people whose thirst He has quenched. I am your host, Dennis Bunye, and this is Thirsty Thursdays. First of all, a big shout out to all of you watching us live and for those of you watching the replay. Hello to all BCBP Alabang chapter members and all other BCBP community members out there. And most especially, hello to our family and friends. Please subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for BCBP Alabang. And remember to give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for notifications. I am Dennis Bunye. I am a professional life and corporate coach and a proud member of the BCBP, the Brotherhood of Christian Businessmen and Professionals, Alabang chapter. This Go Live online series is one way that we live out our BCBP mission of bringing Christ to the marketplace, and winning the marketplace for Christ. And for this season, let us witness how God works through the lives of people. Stories of real life made inspiring by the touch of God. And to all our viewers, please chime into tonight's conversation and type in your questions, comments, and insights. Now, he was the Philippines IT country leader for Procter & Gamble before he started on his online career. He is a digital entrepreneur and is the founder of OurAwesomePlanet.com, which started in 2005 and is one of the top food and travel blogs in the Philippines and is also recognized globally. He was recognized as one of Go Negocios Inspiring Youth Filipino Entrepreneur Awardees in 2010. He received the first Tourism Star Award for Media from the Department of Tourism for his invaluable contribution in promoting Philippine cuisine and destinations through his blog. He has about 280,000 people following him on Facebook, close to 40,000 followers on Instagram, and more than 26,000 subscribers on YouTube. But most especially, he is a husband to his lovely wife, Rach, and father to his loving sons, Aidan, Joshua, Rafael, and Yugi. Let us all welcome Anton Diaz. Hi, Anton.
Hello, good evening.
It's nice to have you here, bro.
Yes. Good evening, Dennis. Good evening to those people watching live and on on the replay.
Nice one, nice one. Anton, before anything else, no, please allow me to personally thank you for your service and generosity. I mean, your contribution to the BCBP community is helping our mission to have a strong presence in the digital space. And
Yeah.
thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah. And we're just starting.
Yes, oh, exciting to. Now, Anton, for a corporate guy and you were holding a dream job with a leading multinational company, for almost 13 years. So what made you decide to take the leap to become a digital entrepreneur?
Wow. That was a long time ago, no? So
Mm,
I can remember I was in you know when I was growing up, no, and I think a lot of people growing up during our time, di ba, we were educated to parang do well in school, and then pag
mm,
graduate mo ng school, you go to a multinational company, di ba, and then retire
yes.
in a multinational company. So it was a
Mm,
dream come true getting into Procter and Gamble, and
mm,
for 12, 13 years, my last job there was I was the chief information officer, part of the management committee. But during that
mm,
time, we had our first son. Aidan was born 2005. Joshua was born 2007. And you can already feel na parang you wanted to spend more time with the family. Actually, we wanted to really have a work from home career para to spend more time with the family. And that time, we were thinking about my boss then was Janet Kua. Sabi niya,
mm,
oh, can you look at how IT can help marketing? So during the time,
mm,
blogging was starting, Google, all the Google platforms were starting, Facebook was
mm,
starting, and you can clearly see na this will disrupt the entire industry. So, and I really wanted to be part of it. We started blogging at the time. I was
mm,
blogging at the time mga IT eh. But on the side, we will talk about food and travel. We will talk about,
mm.
going to, I remember noon, first time nagbukas yung Antonios. Wala pang mga
Yeah.
online yun. Wala pang Facebook. So,
Uh-oh.
usap-usapan lang. Or
Uh-oh.
Sonia's Garden in Tagaytay. So, most
Uh-oh.
people followed really the blog. And until today, for food and travel stories. And I remember in 2007, when Joshua was born, parang naisip ko na, I was at a crossroads,
Mm,
whether I wanted to pursue, continue with my career in PNG, or I wanted to get into full-time professional blogging. And
mm,
you have to remember at the time, ano ba yung blogger? Parang nobody knew about blogging at the time, and earning money from blogs, from content.
yeah.
Maybe on hindsight now, it makes sense, but in 2007, parang ang hirap, no? And
Mm,
I remember I was part of this organization, Junior Chamber International, JCI Manila, and lahat yung mga businessman. And then when they would ask me after I resigned, they would ask me, ano bang ginagawa mo?
mm,
I would say I'm blogging, and nakatungo pa yung noo ko noon na I'm just blogging, etc. But I was really convinced at the time that this is the way to go. Kasi
mm,
um, I had a vision. No? I
mm,
attended this. This was really a crucial part of my career. I had a vision in 2007. I
mm,
attended the first Kirigma conference. Actually,
mm.
the Feast family has been there throughout my career, at the start of my career. Naalala ko noon
Right.
sa Ultra, the first Feast conference,
Mm,
and si Bo Sanchez was doing a worship at the time. Can clearly see. And when you close my eyes, I was deciding kasi whether I had a project then regionally in PNG, or I quit my day job and then continue blogging, no?
mm,
And when I closed my eyes, I saw a lot of people hugging me. Parang, I make more difference to a lot of lives of people if I continue blogging. But it was really hard kasi there's no monetization at the time. Wala yung mga
Yeah.
influencers that we talk about now.
Mm.
And most of the advertising was flowing through TV and newspaper, no? And
Mm.
then siguro just to um so that was November 2007,
Mm.
and January 2008 I was already in digital marketing, but there was no digital marketing courses here in the Philippines, no.
Mm.
So I would fly actually to Miami, Florida at the time. And then I was attending this conference by Rich Sheffren. And you know what? There was this guy talking in that conference, and this was his first speaking gig, no. And this guy was selling wines
Mm.
online, and his
Okay.
name was Gary Vaynerchuk. He was talking about this is the first time he talked about crushing it, you know, how social media would do it. And when I heard the talk, that was a confirmation sign, no, that this is the path that we're going to. And right there and then I actually emailed Rach na will resign from PNG. And I actually saw that email pa. I still have that email. Nakita ko minsan sa Google Mail ko. And then Rach said, sige, kung yan yung direction, then we'll follow. So I think my wife really supported that decision. Pero it was hard. It was hard the next 2 years until until we were able to somehow make it in the online space.
Yeah, and I know you received a lot of awards and recognition for this as well. So it was really, from what I'm hearing from you, this is really a leap of faith, diba?
Yes.
Now, also from that time up to this point, talagang malayo yung naabot ng our awesome planet, diba? But we also know that the digital business landscape is very competitive, and all the more that with the onset of the pandemic, most of the businesses and industries that were affected are those in the food, travel, and hospitality.
Yes.
So how has this affected your business and you as an entrepreneur?
Actually nga, when I started our Awesome Planet, sabi ko, when people were starting blogging at the time, they talk about niches, no? Niches. So some people just concentrate on food, some people concentrate on travel. So being a proctoid that I am, sabi ko, hindi, we'll do food and travel, two industries, para siguradong may backup. Kung hindi nag-work yung food, may travel. But nobody would know, would predict about the pandemic, no, that affected both industries. And we built our Awesome Planet based on digital advertising also. So that affected as well during the pandemic. And until now, we're trying to support as many food and tourism people in the Philippines and around. Pero it's really hard. The whole industry is crushing. And that actually also crushed our business in a sense. I mean, affected our business in a sense. At the same time, siguro in 2019, so I've been blogging then mga 12, 13 years also already at the time. Of course, a lot of people, they're younger people, there are different platforms. So it becomes competitive. And so that also affected our work, no? And we were at the point na we had like money issues and we were grounded for some time. And actually, I can feel it also na parang we're at a crossroads whether ano bang gagawin natin, how would I steer our Awesome Planet, diba? Parang do we continue down this path? And then at the same time, our kids are growing up. We have 4 boys. We have 4 boys now, and parang ano bang mangyayari? It was really at a crossroad, and we're looking. Parang it felt like 2007 all over again, actually. Not only in terms of a crossroad, but also in terms of the technologies. The technologies also matured already at this point. And it was really time for parang a new set of innovation. So the pandemic just parang pinabilis nilang yung rate of innovation. And you can
Yeah.
clearly see how the pandemic accelerated the technology innovation. So siguro if we feel na, I know a lot of people feel na parang they're behind on technology or ang sobrang dami naman technology. The rate of technology innovation will be 10 times what we have today. And so the digital landscape will just boom, no? From here on onward.
So during that time that this was happening and you had a flourishing business at that time, tapos the business conditions turned, no? So what were your realizations during these times? At saka what kept you going? Oo.
I think after some time we realized kasi we were into food and travel. So just imagine we're just eating in the best restaurants, traveling in the best places. And sometimes we lost sight of what was important. No? Minsan, we got lost into, on the experiences, kumbaga. And we were longing for something meaningful to do. And we know, I think, the people who are from our generation, the Gen X, we grew up from the Gen X. We're at the point where we wanted to have more meaning. That's one. As we go into our senior years, at the same time, you can really feel that the Philippines is one of 2 countries in the world where 50% of the population is under the age of 24. So 50% are Gen Z, no? The other country is Indonesia. So it really is up to us, our generation, to make sure that our kids would have a sustainable planet and something that they can live with. So we're already thinking about ano bang pwede natin gawin and how can we help the next generation of Filipinos or inspire them to be the best they can be, better than us, the Gen X.
So I picked up on that what you said regarding some sense of emptiness, diba? But you were led to have a deeper relationship with the Lord. Can you take us through that experience? How did you encounter the Lord?
Of course, at that point naman, I think with a lot of people who experience emptiness, you wouldn't say naman you're empty with the Lord. No? Parang syempre most of us are Catholics also. We do our Sunday Catholic practices. My mom is a devoted Catholic also. She always pray. So parang hindi mo maiisip rin yun at the time. But there was this longing eh. And buti na lang, we have this friend, yung pinsan ni Rach, si Pam Cinco, who runs Risa Chocolates, no? One of the best chocolates in Manila. And so nag-invite siya. Sabi niya, hey, tingnan mo to, there's this organization na Brotherhood of Professionals and Businessmen. And they're not afraid to talk about God, no? Or for, how can we be honest in the marketplace? And actually, that message resonated with me because being a digital entrepreneur for the last 10 years, I've seen a lot of dishonest people talaga, no? Not only on taxes, but in dealings. And napaso na kami maraming beses. Sasabihin niya, oh, ganito yung deal natin. Tapos yun pala, hindi pala ganun yung deal later on, di ba? So parang ang nang isahan yung labanan. And when he said, oh, there's this group na they're honest, their dealings are honest. So we were really interested. So yun yung hook, kumbaga, na that and sabi niya every Saturday there's breakfast, listen to it. So yun, we listened to the breakfast. Sabi ko, okay yung mga stories ng mga businessman, no? Businessman, the professionals. And then, nagkataon, may Christian Life program. Diba? There's this Christian Life program.
Which is for 13 Saturdays. Yeah.
For 13 Saturdays. Hindi naman namin alam 13 Saturdays. So, just imagine this, no? Before that CLP, we were really traveling like 2 or 3 times a month outside the country.
Yes.
Pero during that year, we were grounded, yeah, because we had some problems, we have money
Yes.
problems, we had some,
Yeah.
and we had this longing, etc. We were able to finish the CLP, and that actually was one of the best encounters that we had with the Lord, in terms of, how He wants us to progress in the next 12 to 13 years,
That's
or in the
nice.
next.
That's nice. Oo. What would you say were your memorable moments as you were going deeper in terms of your relationship with the Lord?
Okay. So, ito, lagi ko kinikwento kay Rach. Kasi si Rach actually was a witness to all the story, no? Of course, obviously, from the start, from our college days. And, for 13 Saturdays, every time I attend the CLP, there was this topic, di ba? Could be Jesus Christ, about God, about whatever. And every
Yes.
time, there's a discussion stories, di ba? Discussion guides. Every time, pag niisip ko, parang pinag-usapan namin online. Parang, and this was 2000, ano ba to, 19, di ba? 2019. Parang ang usapan, pwede tong CLP gawing online pwede tong chapter ng BCBP, pwedeng online chapter. Baka pwede tayo magkaroon ng chapter na virtual reality. Ganyan. Or, basta, lahat talaga online. And then, syempre, isipin mo, paano ba tayo kikita dyan? Wala kang pagkakitaan dyan sa online. So, ganon. It went on for 13 Saturdays na all the discussion was online. How to use online to market Christ. Parang ganon. So, parang, actually, it felt like he was recruiting me to be a digital marketer or to devote my entire, the next decade or the last decade of our, career to promote Christ. Parang ganun.
How did you feel like when, how did it feel like knowing that, you're doing this for a living, and then it's the Lord now conversing with you and wanting you to do this for him? Was there like pressure, or was it something that gave you confidence? How was it?
No, it was actually a bit weird nga eh. It was a bit weird kasi you have to understand there was no pandemic at the time. So there was no sabi ko bakit online ang pinag-usapan natin, and alam ko ba naman yung BCBP, 'di ba? Medyo pang in other chapters parang matatanda yung mga chapters. So sabi ko baka hindi naman nila ano yung online kasi nga lahat yan face to face, 'di ba?
Yes.
So it's kind of weird, and of course I had to ask for a sign also na is this really the like my experience in 2007 na parang I don't know, I think my faith rin at the time, sabi ko, can you give us a sign this is the the will you want to do us to do, no? Parang ganun.
Yeah.
And there was a sign I remember we were selling this condo in Taft kasi we needed money, no? And it was very hard to sell. And the sign was we were able to sell that condo on the graduation day of CLP. So
Wow.
yeah. Biruin mo kung hindi namin nabenta yon before the pandemic, hindi na namin mabibenta yon. Parang gano'n. Just looking.
Yeah.
Pero at the time kasi you wouldn't know because ang pandemic noon happened mga December pa, di ba? December.
Yes. Yes.
And then we knew that this will be we knew this will not be just an advocacy. It will be our career, no? Na this is our calling. It really felt like a calling talaga na we'll devote our lives to fight in the battle online. And actually, during that 13 Saturdays, just imagine, our kids. I think a lot of people, some people watching, imagine your kids. Your kids are always online.
Yeah.
Hindi nyo na alam kung anong pinapanood ng mga kids or pinupunta ng mga kids. Lahat sila may sarili silang Discord. You don't even know if if it's an online battle for our
Mm.
kids,
Mm.
it's really hard.
Mm.
And there was ang ano nga, ang I remember there was this discussion na the evil one wanted to destroy the Philippines, but he wanted to destroy the next generation, which is the Gen Z. And the
Okay.
way he would destroy it is via online, because he
Okay.
can control online, etc. And so that was really parang nakakatakot talaga. And actually, my
Mm.
prayer lang from here on onwards, I'm not talking about monetization, etc. It's really protecting our kids. And I think protecting the kids for BCBP and the entire Filipino nation. Kasi, yun our kids are being attacked. And if you're not woke into the fact that our kids are being attacked online,
Mm.
and that's the battle, no? We want to
Mm.
help out in helping parents, and then
Mm.
the Gen Zs, etc. And sharing more
Mm.
stories, especially now online. Makita mo all the
Mm.
algorithms in Facebook. Anong
Mm.
pina-prioritize niya? Lahat ng mga awayan, di ba? Lahat ng mga
Mm.
awayan, all the negative things. We're now in a phase of elections. Sobrang maging
Mm.
toxic ang social media. So,
Mhm.
I mean, we have to do our part also. We're trying to contribute to positivity,
Mhm.
and at the same time, there's really a lot of mental health issues in the Philippines because of what happened to the pandemic. Nobody really talks
Mm.
about it.
Mm.
In Boracay, and dami nagsuicide,
Mm.
a lot of teenage suicide. So, I
Mm.
mean, we really need to help um, our nation, our beloved Philippines. Siguro,
Mm.
when I was starting my career, it was about our advocacy then was people were not appreciating the Philippines. So our
Mm.
campaign then was to promote, hey guys, masarap ang Filipino food.
Mm.
We have the best world-class beaches in the
Mm.
world, no? We
Mm.
would go to Malapascua, Bantayan, to
Mm.
all the best beaches, and would say we have the best beaches. So that was the
Mm.
campaign at the start of our awesome planet. But I think
Yeah.
the next part of the campaign really is how can we win the online battle for Christ.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. So it's a very clear direction from the Lord that you got, diba? It's really there's an online battle that's happening right now, and I am making you my crusader for this, diba?
Yeah.
So as you allowed the
Hindi
Lord
lang
to,
ako, hindi lang ako, lahat
oh,
tayo. Kasi we
yeah,
need a lot more people
oo,
to fight this battle.
exactly. Pero ikaw personally, what changed in you after this encounter with the Lord? Having a
Um,
deeper relationship now with Him. Mm.
we're just starting, no. This is the start of our
Mm.
journey.
Mm.
The pandemic is really hard for a lot of
Mm.
people. Even for us,
Mm.
biro mo, we're already online. We're almost 100% work from home or business.
Yes.
But still, it's really hard. I could imagine for other families, no, na they had to go to the office, and then
Mm.
ang dami pang mga issues. So it's really hard. And sometimes, ang magaling kasi the evil one is really smart, no.
Mm.
Um, he he can control internet. So,
Mm.
'di ba, yung first battle kasi was bawal na kayo mag-mass. So ngayon
Mm.
lumaban yung mga churches, 'di ba? Nagkaroon ng mga
Yes.
online mass. Ngayon
Yes.
naman, ginagawa namang ay parang pare-pareho na lang online mass, parang ay wag ka na mag-online mass. Alam mo yung gano'n,
Mm.
ang hirap nung laban with online. So minsan yun fatigue naman. Let's say
Mm.
um parang na-over naman na fatigue. So I mean, for me, I wouldn't say na I think we're starting our journey,
Yeah.
and if we were to do it alone, we cannot really
Mm.
do it, no. And that's why we're really happy with the Brotherhood of Christian Businessmen and Professionals. Kasi I think
Mm.
we needed like a community, no, to really
Mm.
support us. I can
Mm.
remember we were helping in the feast, for example,
Mm.
for a long time.
Mm.
But we were really looking for a community. Kasi in the feast is like certain Saturdays lang or certain days. We're looking for a community like Light of Jesus, or yun nga, nahanap pala namin tong BCBP that, businessmen, professionals fighting for Christ are
Mm.
here. And yun, at least dumadami na rin yung community. And I think for all some people watching on the live stream, if
Mm.
you're feeling lost or empty or you wanted some help, just reach out to the BCBP.
Yes.
Alabang. I mean, just reach out. I think we're having our Christian Life program soon also at 10 Saturdays. And just see. Kasi it's very important, especially the pandemic, na we have this support. Did you know na, and one of the illusions is this pandemic will end next month, no? This
Mm.
won't end next month. Our vaccination rate is 1-2%. It will take us
Mm.
3 years to get to a 70% herd immunity. So this
Mm.
pandemic will be super long, and we need all the support that we can get. Kasi um, if the parents lose the battle, paano pa yung mga kids, di ba?
Yeah.
The parents needs to be strong so that
Mm.
we can really help our kids fight this battle also. Yeah.
So ikaw, Anton, how has your life been in, your profession now that, you're really full out in terms of your service with the Lord?
I think we're still siguro ang difference lang.
Mm.
Well, the big difference siguro before this encounter, we were looking for likes, we were looking
Mm.
for
Mm.
you're fighting these followers,
Mm.
parang padamihan,
Mm.
1 million followers, 1 million
Mm.
likes. Nawala na yon. I think ang battle cry ngayon is really to help one soul at a time, 'di ba?
Mm.
As long as
Mm.
the work or the mission that we do, we can help at least one soul at a time, inspire one heart, touch one mind, one
Mm.
Filipino, one soul at a time, then that will be our work. Imagine if we do that for the next 10, 20 years. Will
Mm.
really help out a lot of people. It's really scary the next 10
Mm.
years because we have this business na Awesome 10X investing on global stocks.
Yes.
The companies we invest on technology innovation,
Mm.
grabe, the rate of AI, the rate of automation, the rate of
Mm.
everything that will happen in the next 10 years would
Mm.
blow people's mind, no? Yung AI na lang
Mm.
eh.
Mm.
Ang hirap labanan ng mga AI ngayon pa lang, 'di ba? What more in the
Mm.
future?
Yeah.
So wala. I think we're coming in we're losing the online battle actually.
Mm.
And that was
Mm.
the message or that was the conversation. And we need to
Mm-mm.
start organizing digital warriors for Christ.
Yes.
And fight this battle. So
Yes.
we'll see.
Oo.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how we can win this battle, but as long as we're, the Holy Spirit will help us, etc. We have
Yes.
brothers and
Yeah.
sisters who can help us.
Yeah. Even if
yun.
it takes one soul at a time, as you said,
Oo, one soul at a
this is
time.
for our children, diba? And this
Yes.
is a mission directly coming from the Lord. And there's so
Kaya-
much learning. Oo.
Hindi,
Yeah.
kaya I'll share with you. So like, for example, before, my YouTube video, okay, merong 100, 200 views. Minsan isipin ko, 200 views lang yan. Parang demotivated ka na. But now,
Mm.
look at 200 views. That is 200 souls. Ma-convert mo lang isa dyan,
Yes.
1 out of 200.
Yes.
Those are, as the millennials would say, langit points. Diba?
Yes, langit points, correct. There's so much learning that I'm getting from this, and while listening to your faith journey, Anton. And I'm sure that our audience also have their own takeaways. Ako, personally, what resonated with me is that, God does not call the qualified, but He qualifies those whom He calls. I mean, imagine you started as a blogger, pero galing kang IT, you're an ECE, di ba? And we may not understand at first why He calls us to come out of our comfort zones and pursue something that may not at that time make sense, diba? But as we put our trust in Him and we keep our focus and follow His leading, we will soon realize that there is a grand plan. And when we get to realize that, it's always awesome and
Oo.
astounding.
Yes.
Diba?
Ang galing nga
So
eh.
Anton,
Actually,
oo, yeah.
if you look at it, parang I was just looking at it. Talagang trinain niya rin throughout the years, and the calling was there ever since pala, and it was
Nice.
just beautiful, di ba? Pero
Yes.
mahirap pa rin because the next 10-20 years will be really hard for all of us.
Yeah, so kailangan talaga sama-sama tayo dito. So Anton, what message would you like to impart to all of us? Lalim nun ah.
Oo nga, lalim na. I think join us in the online battle. There's an online battle for the soul of our kids. And we need to win this battle for the next generation of Filipinos. And the Philippines, I think, is we're celebrating the 500 years of Christianity in the Philippines. But we are at war now for our kids. What will happen to our kids? And we need more and more people to help us, especially those people who have like internet, digital marketing skills. Use that to win the online battle for Christ. If you're not part of the community yet, please join us. BCBP Alabang. Yan, makita nyo si Dennis Bunye and all the brothers who will help us in this online battle.
Thank you so much, Anton, for sharing your faith journey with us. And thank you for inspiring us to always listen to God's leading and to trust His greater plan for us. Thank you for highlighting the perfection and the beauty of God's creation in our own country, the Philippines, through your awesome blog. And thank you for leading and enabling us to fight and win the battle for Christ in cyberspace. This has been super inspiring and totally refreshing. This is quite an evening. And to all our viewers, I hope that this inspiring story has filled you with the living water, which is Christ. And it is my prayer that you thirst for more. Watch our episode next week and listen to the story of a widow whose unwavering faith has taken her from hopelessness, loss, and grief to grace that completes and sustains. Please subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for BCBP Alabang. And remember to give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for notifications. This is Dennis Bunye, and this is Thirsty Thursdays. Stay thirsty.
Stay healthy, stay happy. Bata pa tayo, kahit na tumatanda na ang ating mga anak. And I look forward to many, many great adventures in the future. Stay safe, stay strong. Ingat.
So thank you, Anton. Thank you for giving me a chance to contribute to what we've been doing. And thank you for letting me be your friend. Not only to you, to your wife, to your kids, and to your whole family as well. I just wish you good health and more happiness. And finally, I wish you a fifth child. Sorry, I want you to have a daughter with Rach. That's it. Love you, bro.
Today, since I'm asked to give a message for you, Anton, you know that I've always been expressive about my appreciation for you and all the help that you've given me and my business, and how much I love you as a friend. You and Rach, of course, how much I cherish our friendship. And siguro there's just a few people I would go to if I had a real challenge or a dilemma in my business, and one of them is you. So I wish you a lot of success and fulfillment. You know that I'm always here for collaborations, partnerships, or just plain fun things to do together. Thank you for all you've done for me, and thank you for being a friend.
Thank you. Thank you, Janice.
Anton is my husband of 18 years and we have 4 boys. Our life is full of surprises, trials, and blessings. It may not be a bed of roses, but we know that we have each other to turn to. We have known each other for 30 years, ever since our first year in college. So I know kilalang-kilala ko na siya. He is my motivator, my pusher. Always bring best and worst in me. He is very patient and understanding. Whenever I am in doubt, he will always tell me to trust in him even if I know he is also unsure of the future. He never gave up. He left his corporate job full-time working when we have a growing family. He never stopped in believing that God will help us and provide, even if we are having challenges in our life. God led us to BCBP, where we found the community that we will serve. It is true that I teased him during our CLP in 2019 when he shared to me his calling to serve God via online. He took this seriously and shared his many digital plans with me before he talked to JV and Dennis. I am happy that he has been very generous in sharing his knowledge in digital marketing and always have time for the Lord. We are happy to have found a community when we needed one, just in the nick of time. Anton, you have always been the one to see the future and look at the big picture. We are proud of you, and may you continue to be that man. May you win Christ in the marketplace as you have envisioned. Continue to be as passionate as 16 years ago when you started to blog. We love you. Love you. We love you very much.
Yes, ang sweet naman ng message na yon. Solid. Galing. Thank you so much, bro. Cheers, pare ko. Cheers. Cheers to the fight. Cheers. You have to unmute lang, Anton. I think nag-mute ka.
Ayan.
There you go. Kamusta, bro?
Nice, nice. Ang ganda ng message na
Very.
kasama ko.
Yes, yes. Kita ko nga talagang kumikinang yung mata mo Anton, may ano lang, merong isang, there's one a question here also that I'd like to pick up. No? This is from Bobit Atendido, Roberto Atendido. Yeah.
Okay.
So here goes. Anton, what's your perspective on who bears responsibility on the impact of online on the youth and culture overall between social media companies, the government, and parents?
I think we really need to have the responsibility to protect, to train. It's like kasi alam mo the future, it will be all AI. You won't even blame the companies because the AI would train itself. The AI would have its own mind. The evil one can influence the AI. And kumbaga, nakita mo yung mga movies, di ba? Ang kalaban nila mga AI.
Yes.
How can you blame the AI? Parang, it's hard. And, people blame the AI, for example, sa Facebook. Kasi puro negative na lang ang pinopromote ng AI sa akin. That will magnify in the next 10 years. So, what's really important is to ground our kids in values. Second, we need to have this, we need to elevate our knowledge of the internet, no? Di ba? Ang tindi na ng mga labanan sa internet. Kung sa US nga na ransomware yung oil company, no? To destroy the oil company. What more yung mga houses natin and etc. So we need to really need to beef up our skills on protecting our family on the
Agreed.
internet. There are a lot
Yes.
of things you can do. Parang there are a lot of tools. Hindi masyadong napag-uusapan And I think there's this illusion na the future will be like what we are today.
Yes.
The kids will do gig economy, no? You'll have their own all work from home or work from anywhere and all online.
When you say gig economy, ito yung kumbaga sa lingo ng Gen X, yung racket. Ganon.
Racket, mga racket. Sa linggo natin, racket. Pero sa linggo na parang, you do a lot of different work, different passions. You're not tied to one company. Kasi, at least in our generation, di ba? Yun yung turo sa atin, di ba? Na parang stay with the company.
Graduate ka, apply in a good company. Yeah.
And actually, during my first 10 to 12 years as a digital entrepreneur, yun ang pinakamahirap kasi we were the first time entrepreneur in the family.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have any role models, no, because our parents or all our family are employees, so we had to learn a lot from our mistakes, etc. And tapos digital entrepreneurship pa, meaning you have to, kung entrepreneurship is making things from nothing, paano pa pag making things from bits and bytes, no? making things from digital content is kind of a different
Yes.
game also. So I think we really need to have this discussion or beat up the families, the how do you do it. For example, all the kids now are in Discord. The parents don't even know Discord. I mean, how would you protect the family on doing Discord? And I had to take it upon myself to learn Discord with our awesome 10X, no? Naka-Discord communities na. Kasi ngayon, nilalapitan ako ng mga anak ko, for example, may lumalapit sa kanila, nag-offer ng crypto, ganyan na in Discord. Sabi ko, i-block mo yan, i-block mo lahat yan. Ayun, at least you're helping them. Imagine if you don't know Discord, you don't know to identify what's a hacker from hindi hacker.
Yeah.
And nobody's discussing this. And anyway, that's part of our campaign then. Pero minsan kasi, some of the parents also, they grow older, parang you don't want to learn anymore the internet. So lalo na yung virtual reality, yung mga Oculus ng Facebook. The next wave of gadgets is Google Glasses, Apple Glasses, the virtual reality talaga.
Virtual reality, yeah.
And some of the companies, they use haptics technology. You can do sex online using haptics, meaning the touch. Pag nag-touch ka sa virtual, mararamdaman ng katawan mo using haptics technology. And that's reality already. It's being used in Sony PlayStation 5. So, I mean, nobody keeps on discussing it. So, I think maganda yung question ni Bobet. And I think it's actually the Gen X responsibility talaga. And we need to equip ourselves with the different tools. And maybe the community nga na ganito. Maybe we should talk about it some more.
Yes.
And how we can protect like for example, maraming mga tools Covenant Eyes, di ba? How do you battle porn? Siguro, like for example, in our generation, porn may be a big issue, no? But sa generation ng Gen Z, hindi lang porn ang issue kasi merong nang mga nagsisuicide, merong mga mental issues.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's a big topic. It's a
and I guess even in media, di ba? I mean, you can easily see shows in Netflix na parang when you watch it, parang ang dali na isolve yung problema just by suicide. So it's the message itself, di ba? And I think also that's one way that you're also showing us, by example, that a Gen X like you can go into this technology, for the love of our children, protecting them and defending them, diba? And so, we're part of this parenting course right now, and that's something, that's an enlightenment, that's an insight that we have to really touch on these things, no? Thank you very much for that, for leading the way.
I think yun nga. Maganda yung parenting course mo kasi nga I remember we attended this parenting course, no? Parang inner child ba yun or something. I remember it was a case study based. Pero yung mga case studies nila was based on 80s, 90s. Meaning something na talagang forward-looking din kasi ang hirap ng battle for our kids talaga.
Yeah. Correct. Okay. So, Pargoy, maraming salamat. Sobrang ang sarap makipagkwentuhan pa, di ba? Parang nakatambay lang tayo kung may oras lang, di ba? Ang daming pwede pag-usapan. But thank you so much for spending time with us.
Siguro, thank you, Dennis, for having this discussion. It was a first time, I guess, I've talked about this. I just remember, every time we would sign in the blog, live an awesome life. It refers to food and travel, but now I sign everything as live an awesome life in Christ. Kasi ano bang gagawin mo with going to all the best restaurants in the world, traveling all around the world, but the souls of your kids and family, wala. goes to hell, di ba? So, I think, actually, yung one last kwento na lang na conversation
Sure.
was,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm still a travel blogger, no?
Hmm.
And the ultimate travel destination is heaven. And that's
Wow.
kind of hard
Yes.
to do, di ba? Parang how
Yes.
would you bring your family to heaven with our
Correct.
kids? Siyempre,
Correct.
you won't be satisfied just having you and your wife in heaven. So how do you train the kids, the grandparents, everybody around you to travel to heaven? That's really hard.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Galing. And this parang just a side note, that's something that resonated with me and your sharing, and I think I read it in a blog also, that life is not awesome without Christ. Diba?
yes.
Tama.
Amen.
And we are here to support you, and we're here to fight the battle with you, pare ko. Thank you for
Yeah.
leading the way. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, guys. Animo, Dennis.